Welcome everyone to the pilot episode of the Not So Old Boys podcast. We're a bunch of football mates here to tackle those tough, often avoided topics. In this episode, we're diving into the topic of male fertility and its impact on mental health. If you're facing these issues, know that you're not alone. Check out the show notes and our podcast for support. Enjoy.
Right, fellas, listen up.
I need to do it again now, boy.
Fellas!
So, on my right, we've got Adam Benwell.
Yep, that's me. I centre mid, Old Wilsonians third 11, and
Injury prone.
co-captain. Currently injured with my knee, but here we go. Come back.
And we've got Lloyd Rees.
Where do you play?
Well,
Team?
I play
Also injury prone.
also injury prone, only when doing throw-ins.
Exclusively.
Shoulder pops really
Shoulder
close.
pops when I throw a ball. I play right back for the 6th 11, which is twice as good as the 3s.
And on my other right, we've got Rob Benson.
Hello everyone. Cheers, boy, thank you.
so
We're all getting it.
Okay, and next we have...
Play primarily centre mid, been known to be best left back at club level for, I would say, third level.
And on my left, we have Stephen Pearce.
Yeah, centre back. Just one clap.
Sorry, is Adam starting the audio again?
And I'm Chesney Jennings, co-manager of the 3s 11. Male fertility is a real growing problem. Have you guys actually thought about your own male fertility and if you can have children? Because we're all at a certain age. I'm 34. The youngest is Steve, who's 24.
27.
Whoa, close.
Fuck.
I told the other day I was 24. I believed it.
Someone sent me the other
Yeah.
day.
I was telling everyone at Adam's night out that
sure
we met through school and he was my tutor. He's 4 years older than me.
And now they live
I
together.
heard that story.
I think we told you the other day, didn't we?
I forgot I told him
How
about
have you
that.
bought that?
I didn't buy it.
Okay, good.
Yes, you did.
Few times at the minute. But as the only single man in the group, I think I'll open the floor to the other 4 of you to talk about this first. Because I'm not having kids anytime soon. Or maybe ever.
When you say open the
You've
floor,
probably got a couple running
You
That
realise,
I know of.
you don't realise you don't need to be in a relationship to have kids.
Yeah.
yeah, or have sex.
No, that's
What?
true.
Yeah.
Maybe I have got some running around I don't know about, but
Okay. Have you ever thought about your own fertility? And when the time comes and you do meet Mrs. Benson, that
what a lucky day she'll be.
and she wants
A
children.
lucky day she'll be.
A lucky lady.
Lady.
Check the video.
Yeah.
Play on.
Yeah, but have you ever thought about your own male fertility?
Not until Exceed
20
became
minutes
our
ago.
sponsor of the podcast, and I was asked a little think about it a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, I've always assumed that I could have kids, but I guess I've never really got to a point where, like, I'm still not at that point in my life where I feel like I'm responsible enough for kids, and so I'm.
Would you not
At-
want to be
at this
proactive
moment.
about it?
Yeah, I think it would be good to know if I could have kids, but that's just something I've never really actually
Not thought about it yet.
not thought about yet.
But
I
certainly-
don't think I'm in a position where. Obviously, it's always good to know from the outset, but
You say that, but there is a certain bliss in ignorance, isn't there?
yeah,
It's a comfort
100%.
in not knowing.
Yeah.
I
You
disagree.
just assume.
Everyone thinks they've got
everything's
strong syllogism.
You assume everything's fine until you're told it's not.
Which
I've always assumed that I might not be able to. And
Right.
that's just a pessimistic view of myself, because one of my dreams is to be a father. I'd love to be a dad.
Ah.
I would have been a dad by now if situations would have gone the
If
right
Adam
way.
let you bum
yes.
him.
If you hadn't moved in with Adam.
Had to do with Adam, yeah. No, but it's one of those things that's always bugged me. I have thought about it. I've looked up actually having tests done, because I know it would crush me if I couldn't be a dad. So to have that pre-warning would mean that I'm sort of more prepared, and then I'd definitely consider adoption.
I
Would
say,
be
do you think
straight
it'd
away,
change
yeah.
you if you got a negative result, would you go into the mindset of not trying, so you're not disappointed, or would you go into the mindset of
as in trying to actually
have kids still?
If they said no, you can't, or if they just said there's less chance, it would make me want to continue trying, but also know that there's other options I need to be looking down.
Yeah, okay.
Whereas you guys seem to think that you're already guaranteed to have kids.
I think that's the whole general thing of the whole male species is you think positively of you can have children, not the fact of I may not be able to have children. So you're always winning no matter what. And I think like you are right, ignorance.
No, absolutely.
Is
But equally, it's not like it is where I know there are stories where people fall pregnant after one time, but most people who have children try. The average is about a year or something.
It's
not
longer than that, actually.
Easy to conceive.
Right, let's play the season weekend.
If Chesney's in goal, then
He's conceding weekly.
Conceive. It's not that easy. So I don't know. I would just feel like I would want to try for at least a year before I even start thinking.
So,
but then I think though that when you do sex education when you're younger, they make it seem like you have sex once without using protection, you're pregnant. I think that maybe builds into it a little bit where I've had past relationships and current relationships that we aren't safe. We aren't on protection, and we've never had a scare, and that's partly my worry is that probably goes down to the fact that when you're younger, you're told if you have unprotected sex, you're going to become parent.
That is the general message.
Impregnate somebody.
And it doesn't work that way. And you are right. And although we aren't trying, it's still a worry in the back of my mind. And so going forward in the next sort of few years, I will want to be a dad, and I probably will get a test.
So you would be proactive now, so for 3 years in time, so you test yourself now to fix it.
Yes.
Because the great thing about the reproductive cycle of a male is we can change our reproductive cycle. You can change your reproductive cycle every 72 days, so 4 times a year. You can go from low sperm count and you can increase it over up to like above normal.
Through lots of masturbation or less masturbation?
Vigorous.
Really high progressive masturbation.
Yeah, so dietary requirement, your exercise, aiding in supplements. You have and omega-3 and then your multivitamins that Exceed do as well. They're especially formulated to increase sperm like that. But a man can literally increase his sperm count and go from not being able to have children to being able to have children.
Really?
You do something about it if there is an issue.
Yeah, so you can fix it. So you're never really broken, to be fair.
And how do you? So with a test, what does that actually involve? I think you just give a sample and then that's.
Funny you said that. I've got a test with me. Do you want to take it?
No. I don't want to go upstairs and I'm like.
You can say yeah.
I can stay down here.
I don't want to get drunk by masturbation.
I got rich tea in the kitchen.
We knew it was going to happen.
That's the worst type of biscuit. If I'm going to have a soggy biscuit, it's not a rich tea. Give me a chalky digestive or something. Do you know what I mean? Fucking hobnob.
So all these things.
Dip it in the tea.
All these things you can do with sperm. Is there anything you can do that makes it taste nicer?
Pineapple juice.
Yeah, pineapple juice.
Is that real?
Asparagus.
Is that
asparagus?
How much do we smell though?
Yeah.
Sounds like the other.
I don't want pineapple and asparagus for dinner though at the same time. It's one or the other.
But you will eat a soggy chocolate digestive.
Well, only if it's got all your
Not
stuff.
for dinner.
Not just,
That's appetizer.
not just one lot. 4 loads minimum.
Wait, if it's a rich tea, you're like, just
So-
take this bunk off.
No, thank you. I don't want a rich tea.
So this is a sperm test you'd get if you were sent it.
Just a webcam.
Oh yeah, sorry.
That's falling out.
Yeah, it's falling out. But
Let's do an unboxing.
Have I got stunk in that hole?
Let's show.
This is like an unboxing, yeah.
Let's show
Yeah.
each item.
so it's in there. So that's your sperm test device.
Amazon Fire Stick.
Hold on. No, that's a Ring doorbell. I've seen that.
Is this used or is this new?
Yeah, do I need to talk for hands now, Ches?
No, it's on.
Oh yeah, it's a bit sticky.
Yeah, you sure?
He's like, I've tested myself 4 times this morning.
So
okay.
what you're putting there is they are
Is that for if you miss?
patented collection cups.
Patented. What?
So they're specially designed. So you have your volume, how much you produce.
I don't think I'm spunking in that whole cup. That's a lot.
You wouldn't fill that up?
Not in one go.
Classic pencil.
Yeah.
So what happens?
You need to edge a bit more.
So what you do is you collect in here.
Oh no, my knob's not fitting that hole.
Yeah, and then
Oh, it'll fit in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go in there. Yeah.
yeah. So you collect in there and you put that in there. You have to leave it for 20 minutes because it has to liquefy. So it's not that whole.
Liquefied? What does yours come out as?
Well, it's because it's.
Fuck you! I'm not spunking on it like a dusty powder.
well,
That's a powder powder.
Collecting the samples coming down.
It's like smear it.
It's like Triple H in the ring.
but it's quite thick and gloopy, isn't it?
Well, it depends how many beers I've had.
Yeah. So
And what number wank it is.
So if you leave it over time, it becomes room temperature.
Yeah.
And then it will become more.
Yeah, then it slides off your belly.
Or off a cheek.
Okay. And then you place this in there and you mix it. So you twist this round. But
Mix
as
it with what?
That's for mixing it.
Yeah. So as you're mixing it,
see.
That's them sperm.
the sperm gets sucked up here
Oh.
and becomes a pipette.
Okay.
The science in him was
Life with fat, yeah.
Yeah. And then you get your slide, which was one of these.
Yes.
There you go. How about? And then it goes onto your. You place it into. Your,
Just want to smell it.
No, he didn't smell it.
It-
He
Put his tongue in it.
it is new,
And now he's really pleased with it.
Yeah.
I'm really pleased with myself.
but you got a slide here. Look, and you can see that. And you squeeze your sperm into each chamber, and you can
How do
watch
you
it.
squeeze it? Is it?
Yeah, you just squeeze
Steve,
it.
you were at school, you know what a pipette is.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Also,
No,
this
I didn't know
holds...
if you had to squeeze the end or
No,
the
no,
whole
no,
thing's
no,
flexible.
she doesn't actually have
Yeah, so it looks
Cheers,
quite
me,
solid,
that.
but it's flexible.
So just as a demonstration, here's one I made.
Yeah, just double check. I can't wait for you to say that.
In all seriousness, this is,
10 mil.
that is a lot, right? Because I couldn't fill that up.
10 mil.
So
Give
the
me 5
average-
minutes.
Can I see the sombrero thing?
The what?
The sombrero.
Sombrero.
That's Spanish for hat.
Well, you know what I mean.
Alright.
And then you
Right, Fiesta Mexicana.
For our Spanish listeners.
Okay, I mean, mine wouldn't even stir me, I'll be honest.
that's 1 mil. So the average is about 1.5.
Okay, fine.
yeah.
So why is it 10 mils a cup
Because
then?
there's some people with
I was feeling it
amount,
liquid now.
a lot.
Have you not seen? There's certain.
I don't.
Not seen
Not some
what?
more. There's certain videos.
There's
out
certain
there.
videos out there. Yeah.
Should we get Danny D on the phone and see if he wants to join in?
Who's Danny D?
Oh,
Adam.
You know Dave is.
Oh, you all know
Yeah.
Danny.
And then you just slide that in, and the light comes on.
And it starts videoing your reaction.
What's it doing? Warming it up?
Oh my god, I'm spunky!
So if we had a spare phone, we could see in there. But if you just raise your eye there, you can see if you just
You can see your sperm swing around.
you can see your sperm swimming
No,
around.
we'll have a look.
There's
no
no
sperm
on.
I was gonna do it for the camera, but oh my god.
Uh,
We'll re-record that.
and then what we do is you use your phone, you record it.
What can you see, Rob?
Sperm everywhere! Who's left a sample in here, you dirty bastards?
And then you use your phone to record it, and they use an algorithm through their app, and it'll give you your results in 15 minutes. So you said that you would want to go and get checked out at
So this is
clinic.
It's a home testing kit.
Completely at home, so you
How
don't send it off.
reliable is it?
Above 95%. 95%.
And this is a real kit.
This is a real kit.
Well, I might actually do one then.
And
Well,
then
now?
No, I might do one now.
you can have a kit.
Do you want to video it for everyone else?
Me.
How many kits?
No, the post.
I feel like I'm too nervous.
But
to
if
do
it's
it.
me,
I
I'm be absolutely.
don't want to see your spunk in a cup, but part of me does want to see your spunk in
So
a cup.
each test comes with two of
I'll
these.
fill it. I'll need
so you
both
can
cups.
do twice. So a
I
common
see.
cold can affect it or anything. Really.
So
So you can get a base
95%.
average, baseline,
Yeah.
based on the who's guidelines. So, and you get your results in 15 minutes. Whereas if you send it off, you have to wait, and there's degradation. Or if you go to a clinic, like anything like me, I don't really want to go to a clinic into a small room when you pull the curtain and there's an old-fashioned TV there.
It's uncomfortable going into
It
the
is,
door.
but you can do it
go
from
into
your
like
own
a
home.
sexual health clinic.
Thankfully,
It's uncomfortable.
yeah, thankfully, I've never had to
It
masturbate
never
in
makes you.
hospital. Has anyone else?
But
Depends how long you've been
Have you
at the table.
have you used this?
No.
I've done tests.
And what? I mean, if you don't mind.
I
How is
became
it?
below normal. So I was
Below normal.
just slightly below
What's
normal.
normal?
So that you get a chart
Yeah.
on it, and it literally tells you your sperm count, which it'll measure the motility, which is like if it's swimming in the right direction, and the volume, and on those three baselines, it then will calculate, if you're normal or below normal. So I was slightly below normal, so I actually need to fix myself by either taking supplements or my dietary, or even just getting more exercise because I become quite lazy.
How did you feel about that?
I'll be honest. When I did it, I was pretty gutted, to be honest with you. The whole first reaction of when it came through and it was below normal, I was like, shit. I'm inadequate as a man.
Makes you feel slightly lesser.
It does, yeah. I'm like, for me, there's only one reason we're on this planet is to repopulate, and that's it. And I always thought, if it's below normal, then if I can't repopulate, I'm not actually doing my job of being here, or why I'm supposed to be here. But then I learned all this stuff, and then I was working for the company as well. I was able to realise that it's never truly broken, it can always be fixed. So, and there's millions and millions of people out there that are unable to be above normal or whatever, but it can be fixed. And when you talk to people, and it's breaking that initial barrier of, yeah, I'm below normal, but you wouldn't just talk about that instantly to a person and say, I'm below normal. My service.
No, and I think even just you saying this today, I in my head, the same way you were saying about if a woman can't have children, then I didn't know really that men could change it. That was
I didn't know actually.
That was
I thought it was
information.
I thought it was a fixed thing.
What are the main things you can do then? Obviously you found out. Is there a way to check if there's anything specific you personally need to change? Or...
So in the app you get a questionnaire, a bit like you get from your GP, and then in there you'd fill all this information, and at the end of the test it gives you a lifestyle guide, and it'll tell you based on your questions, based on your results, what you need to do personally to increase your sperm rate count. So that's all free within the app as well. So you don't actually have to pay for anything, and it's all and there's cookbooks.
How much does one of the boxes cost for the average person?
$74.99. Whereas if you went to the NHS to it, it costs the NHS £150 per test. So you're actually helping the NHS by taking one of these tests, and it's half the price for 2 tests rather than 1 test.
It's the comfort of doing it at home.
That's huge.
Yeah, so not
it's delivered to your door. You haven't got to go anywhere. You can do it yourself. You've got 2 opportunities to do it.
But there's also a waiting list for you to go and get your sperm tested via the NHS.
Yeah.
So for you have to be referred and all that stuff. So you actually have to be trying with your partner for 1 year, and you have to show that you've been trying for 12 months.
How do you show that?
Set a couple of these videos.
Yeah, I was just saying, every night you do your misses like that. Look, I promise you'll be trying.
Great OnlyFans. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that would be good.
Get paid to try.
Get paid to do it, and you can pay for it.
Oh yeah, that's where you remember John.
So you have to be trying for a year before you can even think about testing the male side of it. So for me, I'm 34 now. So you imagine I have to wait 12 months. That's 35, borderline 36. And then all of a sudden, the window is very narrow between when your partner can actually conceive. So doing it early, and so you're 27, doing it now, even though you're not even thinking about children for 3 years' time or 4 years' time, doing it now, you can then resolve that issue. So when the time comes, you can literally just...
You'd be at the levels you need to be as well, rather than... And also, if you try for 12 months and then find out afterwards that, maybe you can't. I mean, the term's shooting blanks, isn't it? It's not the right way to say it, but then you find out after 12 months you can't. You sort of feel gutted. For the last 12 months, you could have known. Yeah. You could have been going down other options, other routes. You might want to conceive naturally in other ways.
Equally, I can understand why someone wouldn't want to know because of the fear of the same.
Yeah.
That fear of being told.
But the thing is, would you go and get tested if you had a lump?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But
because you'd want to know if it was cancerous or not.
Yeah.
Because you could then fix it. Whereas because you can't see it,
that's the difference.
That's
the difference.
Until
you assume everything is okay.
Are there any ways to tell without doing a test?
No.
Is there? So it wouldn't look or.
No, so
it doesn't come out looking different if you're.
It comes out like green, and you're like, well, that's definitely a shame.
So your semen can change colour. So there is a level. You can have blue, green, red,
semen.
Red. Yeah. So it's one of the most popular blogs on the Exceed website. Is what colour? What does my sperm colour mean?
I'm going to throw mine out there. Mine is just milky.
Mine's white.
Yeah, so that's the colour it should be. So
okay, good.
Creamy
Adam's
colour.
very quiet. Not got milky white sperm.
Mine's more violet.
Yeah. coming out purple.
Mine's quite see-through sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's my hydration levels. If I'm really full of water,
it does change.
It definitely gets.
That's also been something I've thought about. Is
more frequent.
especially when you see on porn and stuff like that, and it's like, it doesn't look exactly right.
Porn gives such unrealistic expectations. Lots of things.
There is nothing else.
So is it a worry for you as well? Has it affected any?
No, it's whether it should be. Has it occurred to me? Yes, but it's that whole thing as I'm not going to think about it, so it's not a worry. Maybe, and that's where I'm like, I'm okay. I get through my day-to-day life without thinking about it. The second I do one of these things, and it comes up as insufficient in any way, then all of a sudden I am worried about it. So
it's one of those, if you don't know,
it's
you
the
don't
difference of mentality.
But then it's also about who do you confide in, how do you tell people these things. I mean, I've never had an open discussion about this. I spoke to your brother about this when I came back drunk a couple of weeks ago.
It's not your best.
No, but it was nice just to.
I know.
And Steve's great to talk to anyway. It's just nice to maybe get these things off your chest, because they are worries, and they're maybe stupid worries, but they're worries nonetheless, aren't they? So
do you think that worrying about your fertility can affect your mental health?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I've had like nights when I've been upset and you thought about things. I've definitely thought. It's one of those things where I've had this worry and we're not ready yet. She's definitely not ready, and financially in a position we're not ready. But if she was to miss a period and have pregnancy test and she was pregnant, and then we're not ready for it, so she would have to get rid of it, I know that would crush me, because in my head that might be my only opportunity. That might be my one chance. So I've definitely had nights where I've thought about that, and you don't know who you can talk to. Even like talking to Amy about it, it's not easy.
It's sometimes hard to confide in a partner, isn't it?
Yeah, and because they are sort of silly. There's silly things to really worry about, especially now when
trivial.
When it's not the right time, but it is still a worry.
I think it's interesting, like even just us now having these chats. If you then now had a worry, and you know that, say for example, like Chesney was saying, he's had like done one of the tests and stuff like that. It is quite now a bit more comfortable to have that chat,
and you've got more people you can talk to about it now. You know that we're all sort of in this together.
And it never has to be like a super intimate one-on-one sit down, list what I have to say, give me the best comfort ever. Sometimes it's nice just to talk about it and someone makes a joke or whatever, and it's nice just to get it out there, isn't it? And now that I know that there's an option where you can do something like this, I haven't got to walk into a clinic and tell the woman at the front desk that I don't think I can come properly.
I don't know if she's trained for that.
Is that how you word it? No.
Okay, you're okay. And just like negligee and gloves.
This is the cafe, the hospital's next door.
With this one though, at least Amy can give you a hand.
Yes. you can make it a game though, can't you?
A game?
Aim in it.
Well, yeah.
Hold the back.
You can shoot it in.
Amy comes back, Steve was like, babe, I've got a great game tonight.
One cup close, that's 10 points. One cup's like you throw one out of 20.
What's the price?
1 boy, 2 cups.
That was quality. We should stop now.
That's good. Oh, that's the best joke of the podcast. I would watch that, by the way.
Would you?
There's your only fan segue into that.
I've watched the reaction videos of that. Remember the reaction videos you had to 2 girls, 1 cup?
Never watched the video, just watched the reaction.
Have you not?
Oh, do you
Of course I watched the video.
I'm pretty sure I watched it with you. So.
That's uncomfortable.
I feel more...
It's worse to watch it on your own, mate.
Well, no, I'm saying it.
I watched it at school.
Did anyone else get half?
So, us talking about this now. So, how do you think, going forward, we can break the stigmas of male fertility going forward? So, obviously we all play football in the club. So how could we, and there's a lot of youngsters in there, there's also a lot of the older generation.
I'm just putting it out there. I won't feel comfortable going up to Dylan, an 18-year-old, going, what colour's your car?
Do your sperm swim properly? Find out now, 75 quid.
After the civil game, we did have a chat. We were sitting at the table and we were talking about our sex lives and stuff like that. And Ryan was slightly uncomfortable in the conversation, but it wasn't weird. and it was open enough that we could talk about it.
Yeah, it got better in the car on the way, didn't it?
Yeah. But again, it's just getting it's how you know people, isn't it? How close you are to people.
Yeah, but it's also breaking that the whole taboo. Should I really be talking about these kind of subjects with these people? Don't forget, he's still a teacher, and Ryan's only just come out of school. So would you actually talk about that with your teacher?
No, yeah.
Whereas
No, I don't know.
I bet Ryan would be probably more comfortable talking that like
With his
sexual
friends,
stuff
potentially.
with his friends, or like
Guess it
someone like
depends.
Adam or something like that, who is like not an authoritative figure in the sense of he works as a teacher or anything. Just not really.
Not even co-captain. Not authoritative enough.
Outrageous.
Kieran Ruff, captain.
Our generation's definitely better at talking about these things, though. And the older we've got, I feel like we're getting better at talking
I think
about
the whole male society's got better at just talking about things in general and being that shut off.
Yeah.
But it's difficult to know whether that's true because this all starts when this whole not talking about it shit off starts when you're like 12, 13, when you start to become aware of your own sort of reproductivity and your own sort of sexual feelings.
And you hide it, don't you? You have to hide it from everyone.
If you don't, you do and you don't. You hide the difficult things, the things that you consider embarrassing. But actually, how many guys can you think of who at 14 years old walked around with condoms in their wallet? Well, it was
I never used them.
No, it was almost like a badge of honour to be that virile man. Look at me, I've got a condom. Like, big deal. But
That's a Welsh thing.
and that's.
But I did the same thing, and you try and be the first person to lose your virginity.
Yeah, that's
and it was
thing,
always
yeah,
like I remember in our school, someone go, I've had sex. You go, oh, how was it?
Yeah.
Oh, nothing
really quick.
In
7 seconds.
In the words of Neil from In-Betweeners, my legs ached a bit.
Do you put balls in?
Yeah, that's what's happened. Yeah. They want to.
If they're into it.
But again, you build it up in your head, don't you, over the years until you get to that point when you actually do it and you go, it's just nice. It's just fun, isn't it? It's
Don't worry, Amy. He loves it every time.
I won't go into too much detail about it, but yeah, it's
nice. Steve enjoys the cuddles more than sex.
but it's not like porn, is what I'm getting at.
No, it's not.
Which is just this
Maybe not in your life.
ridiculous.
I
haven't got 4K cameras
All I'm
everywhere.
saying is, mate, the last taxi journey I took.
Yeah.
You had to drop it for Bromley.
Yes.
Yeah, and then pay full fare anyway. That's actually done you.
Yeah, and then walk a 45 minutes to Rob's house.
I like to get my coffee on the way.
It's his hat to. He offered.
Yeah, no, he's nice.
It is nice. But to be fair, the Friday night after your party, Lloyd did very much fill me in on the evening with Tash after you got home. So I think.
Sorry, Tash.
I'm not saying.
In fairness,
but we are more confident.
I never said it was with Tash.
Well, you said she was green.
All I was saying,
I
Chelsea
assume.
said it could have been Gamora, so yeah.
Yeah.
if you had green come that night, I would have understood
That
it a little bit
that'd
more.
be
I
fair,
think.
yeah.
It was the black hairspray, mate, that was got everywhere.
Is it a black one?
Hey, that could be an issue.
What?
Having black cum.
That's
Darkness.
That's the way
When you come at night time.
I think I'm in the dark.
I think I'd genuinely, if I started coming black, I'd be like, I'm
go see a
going to
priest.
spawn the devil in
Yeah. Again,
gonna stop.
I'd go to the priest.
Do you know what I would call you if you came different colours?
Go on.
A chameleon.
Oh, very good. Very good. Can he do it on demand though on a cold rainy night in Stoke?
I've never been to Stoke.
That's his only issue, isn't it? Have you not been to Stoke?
No.
I wouldn't
I've
be shit
not
on
been
it.
Me either.
Yeah, I'm just like away day.
All towers, isn't it, right?
For a wank.
All the time
For a wank.
All go to Stoke for a wank in the rain.
Yeah, all towers in Stoke, yeah. Not in
For
Stoke,
it's
it's in Stoke, yeah.
For our next podcast, we're going to
Take
journey
it
up to Stoke.
And see if we can come on a Wednesday night in the rain at Stoke.
Stick around, folks.
We'll be using digestives this time.
Oh.
Yeah,
Can I just get a Jaffa cake? I think a Jaffa cake would absorb it.
Well, it would.
Well, Jaffa cake isn't a biscuit.
Or you
Just
take
throw
the
that
jelly
yeah,
out and
it's
come in the
cake.
middle and then put the chocolate back on top.
Oh, surprise Jaffa cake.
Surprise Jaffa cake,
Sort of forbidden Jaffa cake.
It's like wing roulette, but
Oh, it's all thrown on a plate. And
If
when
you
you've
just
got
have
to
a
pick one.
custard cream, you could like open it
I
up.
got a pack over there.
Yeah, because we're happy to take brand deals from any.
Yeah. if McVitie's are interested in sponsoring our Soggy Biscuit Marathon, then
Is that the name of the podcast? Soggy Biscuit Marathon.
And please get in touch. Or Snickers. You know, anyone.
Yeah.
Snickers.
Yeah, he's
Marathon.
marathon.
He's got a nut allergy.
Well, he's coming on, he's not eating it.
Yeah,
Oh, well, let's go in
He
last.
comes last.
Oh, then you could be in trouble. That's a double jeopardy then. Yeah. Soggy biscuit and anaphylaxis.
Oh my god.
So how did he die? Yeah, I'm not doing a unity at that field.
Yeah. Joe's a great man until he ate a cum-filled Snickers bar.
That's the end of the podcast.
I think we've got a few more questions to go through.
Yeah.
Although we are approaching an hour, which I think is quite impressive to talk about spunk for an hour.
Yeah, it is actually.
What was the question on the last one anyway? I feel like did we actually answer that one?
I don't even know. Did we even touch it? Breaking the stigma. How do we break the
So
stigma?
I think
chatting, isn't it?
but also it starts when you're younger.
That's what I was
And also,
gonna
I think
get.
sex
Yeah.
education should go into secondary school.
It
Like,
does.
I did it in
I
year
do.
3 or 4, and then
Ah.
maybe at once in
Oh,
science
we
class.
did it in
in
year
I don't
7.
actually have a memory of doing it in secondary, but
Yeah.
must have done it at some
No,
point.
no, definitely.
But
And it's part of the
My-
PhD curriculum now, so
my
it
only
gets
memory
taught more
is
regularly.
doing it in primary and the girls having to leave the class.
Yeah, that's the thing, because they do that round when people start, like, boys start getting the really early puberty age. They try to do it, like, around when girls might start having periods and when boys start, like, sweating and growing hair and stuff. So they do one session then. And now it's in the PhD curriculum, so you get, like, bits delivered across the 5-year time. That you're in
Okay, well, that's
school.
better. Yeah. But do
It's not always done by external people. Like, it
do
would
they
be done
talk
by
about
teachers and
ejaculate though, or
stuff. I mean,
So have you done
in
it?
some capacities? Have
No.
I?
As in, have you taught the
Taught
kids
it, yeah.
about sexual education? Because you obviously are a science
I am,
teacher.
yeah. Well, we do cover it in science, although not specifically about spunk.
More than-
It's more about the reproductive cycle and process and things like that.
Yeah.
And then as PSHE, I haven't taught it this year because it's not something we're covering in the year 11 PSHE curriculum, and I'm a year 11 tutor. But sex education does not be in the PSHE curriculum, which has to be delivered legally.
that's maybe the year 10, 11 is maybe the main time. That's
Yeah,
when
it
that's when people start to get
gets
sexually-
delivered a little bit earlier. I think sort of year 8, year 9,
Mm.
because they have to be mature enough to be able to handle it a bit better.
That's basic. That's what I think is sort of like as much as you can say about having more education on it. A lot of children, like teenagers, aren't mature enough to have
Yeah.
that conversation.
Yeah, but
They'll
from
just
the
take the
ages of like,
piss.
so I would say university.
I was about
age.
to say university might be a good time to
And
get
then
people in.
upwards.
Yeah, that might be good.
Yeah.
Have
But
have
what's-
stalls at freshers and things like that
Yeah.
that are available.
Yeah.
But just talking about it, just to, like you said, just to clear
Yeah.
your mental health, just to remove the fact of you have to worry about something in 5. 'Cause in uni, you don't want children in university, obviously, but in 10 years after uni, probably you're going to be thinking, I do want kids, but you don't want to be worrying in uni, what if I can't have children or anything like that. It's more of a fact of, well, you don't need to worry about it too much because there is something you can do
And there's
about
plenty
it.
of time to
Yeah,
get it
and
done,
to fix
yeah.
it.
I think one of the problems as well is obviously, especially boys, going like you've got your mates, and say if you were to bring up to your friend, oh, I don't know, one of my balls is quite big or something like that. All that effective banter,
Yeah.
like groups of boys do. You are if you don't trust that person
Mm.
like fully, then you could end up being the butt end of a joke. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of
Yeah.
and I think that's obviously a
Concern
A
with lots of
problem.
blokes. Yeah.
Because
yeah.
Yeah.
if I had a problem, I might not necessarily
Confiding.
want to tell anyone because I think, oh, what if they end up taking the piss out of me
Mm.
for it?
I think these open discussions definitely helps with stuff
Yeah.
like that because you can.
Yeah.
My favourite Seaman story is that when Ronaldinho, the free kick. That's what I think I'm talking about David Seaman.
Oh, very good. That's not a good moment. That was soul crushing.
We
I'm Welsh.
We're- we're
it was soul crushing for me. I was sat there eating some warm cornflakes in primary school on one of the old glass TVs.
Why
Like
are
the
you
whole
warm
school.
cornflakes?
Well, because it was cornflakes like in a pre-made bowl thing, like with the milk and the cornflakes, like almost like a Muller corner. Because it was on like 7:30 in the morning.
What?
Yeah.
All of the kids got invited to school to watch the game. Right, this was 2002. We were in primary school. You were probably there actually.
At his primary school.
He's played.
Yeah, we were in the same primary school.
I was in secondary school.
Yeah, so was I.
Yeah.
You
you
were
go
in
Horse
five.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But maybe you won't. Maybe you wouldn't have quite been there because you might be in the infant school still.
You're a year younger than my brother.
Yeah.
I went to year 3 when you went into year 6 then.
Oh yeah, definitely not. Then you were definitely in the infant school then. But yeah, the game was on. They invited all the kids into school to watch it because it was going to obviously run into the morning of the school. And they brought out one of the big glass TVs, like the old-fashioned ones on the wheels, and it was like bring some breakfast.
What a
items.
day that was, eh?
Yeah.
When that came
When
out,
that TV
yeah.
came out, and bring some breakfast items. So I think my mum gave me like a pain au chocolat and this cornflake Muller corner
So
thing.
middle class.
Yeah.
Chocolate.
Oh no, yeah, sorry. And a pain do chocolate. Yeah, sorry.
No where you're from.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. I had a pain do chocolates and Crispies. And yeah, it's just like the milk was already in the packet thing, but obviously by the time I'd got to school and then sat down,
Didn't
and
even have to make his own cornflakes.
What these? This is not a thing.
Well, it was. What was it? 20-something years ago, was it?
They have cold milk back.
Yeah.
Yes, it wasn't take a pint of cold milk and a box of cornflakes.
Pint of milk in a cornflake.
Well, as it happened,
Soggy
none of them, because the milk was warm, it was disgusting. So none of them got eaten. I had the pandu chocolate, and then sat there and watched the England game. And then when David Seaman got lobbed by running down 45 yards, my heart was broken. I had to sit there all day at school. It was terrible. So moving on from one seaman to another.
Yeah, so as I was saying, before...
What do we think of Jordan Pickford?
Transsexual.
Transsexual. Last time I checked, I don't think he is, but he might be.
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
And that's fine.
And that's fine if he is. But I just don't think he is, having seen him. But imagine the turn of the books if he was actually a chick this whole time. That'd be unbelievable.
I did a game where, or saw a post and it changed a lot of male footballers
Into females. Oh, like his
and
Snapchat
Pickford
filter.
looked awful.
Yeah, but there was.
Also, yeah.
Awful.
There was one that was quite... looked alright. I don't know.
Giroud would look good.
Yeah, it might have been Kaka or something like that.
I just don't think
Giroud,
he's
any
attractive men.
sex.
Yeah. Ben White.
No. Ben White?
He's an attractive man.
Right,
No,
His
not that Love
his
Island
hair
one
is bad.
thing.
His
No.
Can we just say
And the
his
little
hair
period
right
tash
now-
he's got going on? No.
No, his hair I saw yesterday was dreadful.
Yeah.
And he's a dead baller? No.
He's a good player.
Nah, he got rinsed yesterday. Madrid just see you later, bosh, back in the net.
Can we
That
just
was
say...
a cross.
Yeah, Madrid wasn't even looking to see where he was. He just went...
You don't know genius when it hit coming in your
What an
face.
awful celebration for some fluke as well.
Apparently, I've done a research. David Wright that's come out past his near post, expose him.
Yeah, still.
Yeah, but he's come out aggressively to prevent the bottom cross, which it should have been.
Yeah.
And he's. I don't even know what Madrid. I don't even think Madrid knows what he's done himself.
Well, look, all I know is we bottled a 2-0 lead, and I watched England lose the rugby after winning, and
That
I
was
watched England lose the
beautiful.
cricket, and I lost the
beautiful.
Suttonians,
Oh,
and
cricket.
I've lost the KFC this weekend, so
Oh,
I'm going to
cricket.
lose for 2 days.
Cricket
Yeah.
was.
By the way, just for those viewers at home, KFC, he does not play for the chicken.
Yeah, the team is KFC. It's some kind of banter that I don't understand from 10 years ago or so. But yeah,
it spells KFC.
it does spell
like
KFC.
like
I think that might be the
Like a
banter.
fast food chain.
Yeah, like-
it's really good. It's very clever.
Witty, I know.
Yeah.
I thought it was ketamine or potassium FC. Or
Potassium is what
Potassium
I'm
FC, yeah, that's good. No, yeah, we just really love science. Big reaction.
You actually do, though.
No, I do.
You do love
I do
science,
love science. Science is king.
All right, what is the chemical symbol for sodium?
Na.
What is the chemical symbol for gold?
AU.
Oh, you cut that.
No.
You're pointing at Rob.
AU
Is this-
vodka.
AU vodka. That's why it's got AU. Yeah,
Well,
it's gold
clever.
bottles.
That's pretty good.
Invented by the owner is the guy that got kicked by Hazard.
Yeah,
it is, yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Swansea ball boy.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
a cheat.
Right now, it's easy to talk about this stuff, for me anyway, because I'm pretty secure now about everything. But if you'd asked me, right now I'm secure with my sexuality. When I was 13, 14, I was not. And I would never have spoken to anyone about anything. I didn't know. Everyone going on about how, everyone in school, especially Ches, exaggerating how big their penis was. And there's me going like, what the hell's wrong with me? Mine's only like 12 and a half. Like,
Millimeters.
oh yeah, sorry. Millimeters. And the pressure on when I didn't like beer. So I thought I had to like beer. I have to like beer. This is what me and I still don't like beer. But
Yeah, but why don't you like beer? What was the first beer you ever tried?
the Hobgoblin.
It's fucking awful.
Oh, that is poor. That's a poor choice. There's no way you walked into a pub and went, "Can I have a hobgoblin, please?" When you were like 17 and they're like, "Certainly, young man."
So what you needed to try was an Old Wilsonians Pilsner.
Yeah,
Nice.
greatest lager in South East London.
Only
Free
available
joke
at
next week.
Old Wilsonians Sports Club.
Yeah, that's like Hayes Hill, BR4.
Lovely fruity tones. Has anyone ever felt really down? at any certain point. Well, like a serious.
Seriously. Like, because we always joke about football, and I think football for me, and I know I've spoken to a few people about this, on like a Saturdays are like the pinnacle of the week, and I think that you look forward to
build up to
football.
it,
And we've been very lucky as a team over the last sort of 14, 16 months or so that we've been very successful, thankfully, and not really experienced the losses too often. Obviously, the cup final was quite devastating, but it was an achievement to get there. And then yesterday, I was looking forward to my Saturday and got to the club and watched England get pulverised in the cricket, which is always disappointing when you're an England fan. And then we lost to Suttonians 2-1, which felt awful. And then I watched Chelsea bottle a 2-0 lead to Arsenal, which felt even worse. And then I watched England losing the rugby in the dying minutes, and I just sat at home and I was like, my Saturday's been terrible. Like I just went to bed.
Were you on your own?
Yeah, just sit there. Like it had a day to be such a potentially really fun good day.
Yeah.
And ended up being such a shitter. Like I just sat there and I was like, I am just going to go to bed at 10 o'clock and just go to sleep and just see off. Actually, woke up feeling much better this morning, and then got beat at KFC. So it's a weekend of losses.
I had a great day yesterday.
England lost in the
England
cricket.
England lost in the rugby.
Chelsea drew 2-2.
Yeah.
Do you get like that? Do you have those days?
I think I have.
More often than not, or is it?
I would say not more often than not. I just think it's something which I'm fairly good at not letting emotions catch up to me, and then there are days where they just all come
out at the same time.
How do you deal with it then when they all catch up with you?
It depends what I'm doing. So usually, like I say, Saturday is a good release for football. So if I'm feeling a bit crap throughout the week, and then we go out and see all the friends on a Saturday, and you have a good game of football, and you stick around in the clubhouse afterwards, and you drink Old Wilsonian Pilsner, £30 for a 7-pint jug. You just feel much better afterwards. And seeing your friends in our team, we're very lucky that we've got lots and lots of people who are friends with each other in the club and then outside of the club, and we have lots of social aspects that we hang out together, and people stay around after the game, and that Saturday usually clears all the cobwebs away. But because this one went so badly, it didn't clear the cobwebs away. And I think after, just as we mentioned, being a teacher, the last 7 weeks have been very, very challenging at work. We've got lots of things going on, potential Ofsted coming in, so it's been high stress environment at work, which is why Saturdays
maybe we need
so
a
nice.
night out then. We need that sort of.
Oh, we had one on Friday. That went quite well.
Yeah,
quite
but
enjoyed the Friday
we
one.
need a team night out, more of a
Yeah.
release as a something seems to be related towards sport, and then if you've got sort of better memories of the
100%.
day, like you said when you watched the cricket, but if you'd done that, if more people had stuck around maybe and you made it a thing, it might be
Yeah, definitely.
you're less
potentially.
focused on it maybe.
So what you're saying is the way your coping mechanism is to have
It's to get out and
a
see
support
people.
network.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I am very I don't mind being on my own. Like I can hang out with my own company.
You're pretty good
No
at it.
problem whatsoever. Like I can just go off and do things, and have a nice time. But I absolutely do value having friends around me, and I can be very, very thankful. So I've got, without this weird brag, dozens of people who I can then talk to or hang out with, or if you need to go out and just do something with. There's lots of people I can phone conversation and do things.
Yeah.
One of the benefits of being single, ladies out
Ladies.
You're gonna drop your number in a minute.
there. Yeah, I'm single
I'll take
fine.
over Pilsner.
If you fancy dress as Rogue or
Or just Rogue.
or Bishop on Friday night, then I'm available.
Oh, it's got to that point. Doing call outs on a podcast. Please.
So, has anyone else happened? Never help, or just me? It's just regular.
No, I think everybody in some sort of form has suffered. So for me, it was. Well, I've done it a couple of times, but the big one was lockdown, and I was very, very fortunate that I stayed with Lloyd through lockdown, because there was days where I didn't come out of the room.
Or do your dishes? I've heard.
You know. Fucking. But
That was a look of betrayal to suddenly go, Lloyd?
he looked straight across me and Lloyd went, not me, I didn't do anything.
Yeah,
Carry on.
But no, there was days that I wouldn't come out of my room because I'd miss my family. They're all back in Wales, which is 5-hour drive away, and sometimes I'd just sit there and cry because
Tough. It was tough.
it's very, very lonely for me. I know I've known Lloyd for the best part of 25 years.
I mean, we didn't like each other
No.
since the last 10.
Yeah, but for me, if I didn't have Lloyd and Tash at that point, I don't think I would have made it through lockdown. Or I hold my hands up, I wouldn't have made it through lockdown. on my own. But I was lucky that I had Lloyd. We ended up playing games and kept me distracted and stuff. And for I think it was the first time ever, I never went home for Christmas.
Yeah.
It was my first ever Christmas not being at home.
That's
And that was upsetting. I literally cried that day. But credit to us, like Tash, she made an amazing dinner, but we made the best of a bad situation.
Yeah, and I think lots of people.
We dressed up in 3-piece suits.
Well,
and
you did.
and then you were like, I got to match this. So you did it.
That I did. Yeah.
And
We made the best.
we made fun. Where I know you could contact with technology now. Contact people over the phone,
Not the same,
but it's not the same as being able to hug a nan.
Yeah.
Or
Nobody wants a Christmas dinner over Zoom. That's
No,
very depressing,
exactly.
isn't it?
But yeah, no, I'm very fortunate, and I'm very fortunate that I have the group of friends that I have now here, that I met them through Old Wilsonians Football Club. That I don't think I would have stayed in London as long as I have done
If it wasn't for the sports.
if it wasn't for the sports side. And I hold my hands up and say that I've lived in many places, Birmingham, lived in Somerset, I've lived in Wales, and I've lived here. But this is one of the first times that I felt like I've been back home when I was a kid, where I can just go out and I can contact someone or chill out with someone over their house, or they can come over mine or something like that. And it's really nice to have the support network of friends through sport.
I think that's exactly what it is. It's support. I'm gonna actually throw a shout out to one of the people sitting on the sofa here, over to your left, Mr. Stephen Pearce. He very often, including on Friday night actually, gives me little confidence boosting pep talks and looks out for me and just points me in the right direction as a good friend. And we've had a few nights where we've had a few beers and stuff together.
Cried?
No crying. No, it's
Not yet.
more celebratory nights. Talking about football or relationships things, and he gives good advice and stuff. And I'd say very much recently he's offered lots of little nuggets of advice. So thank you, Stephen.
There you go.
What a man.
When you came around mine, we just stayed up talking about football.
Yeah.
And football's changed for me massively in the last 2 years. Rugby was always my thing. Always. I was exactly like you. Training on a Wednesday, game on a Saturday, loved it. Like that was my week, and like that was what I look forward to. It's like, okay, it's Thursday now, 2 days into the rugby. Like I couldn't wait, thinking about it, constantly looking at the league table, even though I could tell you it by heart, but I just looked for it. Then injuries got to me and I had to stop playing rugby. And uni, that's where all my friends came from. Football, I was completely against. I'd never played it, but equally, there's always that mentality, and maybe it is a thing of rugby fans. Football's for hooligans, there's all... And there is a small minority of fans who are fairly pretty deplorable things. But I didn't want to join a football club, because I could still play football with my shoulders, but rugby was out. But I didn't want to join a football club because I know what football players are like, that sort of what you read about, what you see. And then meeting you guys through a pub quiz was genuinely making me think, okay, maybe football's alright. And then it was just, I used to come down and watch, just because that was the big social thing for me. That was going to being part of a club, just being part of a team, even if you're not playing, which then got me, and then this season then started playing. I never thought 2 years ago I would have, and it's been huge for me. It's been massive for me. It gives me to do on a Saturday.
It brings people together, doesn't it? Because you automatically have that thing in common, and then when you play with each other, you have a goal that you're all trying to achieve, and at the afterwards you can talk about that, and then you get to know each other through that. And I've always thought if I ever moved somewhere else and I didn't know anyone, I'd straight away join a team or join a five-a-side goals team, because you have that outlet once a week, twice a week, whatever it is, and it gets exercising's good for you anyway. It boosts my. I've had a few dark evenings when I've come back here and sitting on my own if I haven't been out or something. I've just gone for a run, come back and I felt better.
Hugely better.
It just clears my mind. You can think while you run, and then it's the same with sport. Like I'm the same, but I build up for Saturday, and then the club's lovely as well. Like as soon as we see each other, it's just like we're good mates. We get ready, we go, we play a good game of football, and then afterwards we have a drink. And it is a really good social highlight of my week.
And the nice thing about our club, and I'm sure this is the same with lots of other clubs, but particularly Saturday football style clubs as opposed to Sunday style clubs, because we've got lots of teams, you get to meet lots of other people when you go and help another team out, or they can help you out. And as what's happened with this season, we've got some of our players from last season with one group, and us have moved up to the threes, and it means we now get to sort of talk to other teams while we're also socialising with our team. So we turn up to the club on a Saturday, and you might say hello and have a chat with 20, 25, 30 people on a Saturday, which I think is just a really nice
all different
thing.
walks of life as well.
Exactly, 100%. And I think that's a really nice thing compared to perhaps those people that play on Sunday who have just their 11 or 12 or 13 players that they see just them, and quite often there isn't a facility to go and have a drink afterwards, or you know, there's not lots of teams in the setup, so they don't hang out with other people. So I think certainly Saturday football generally, but specifically at Old Wilsonians, I think we do it very well.
And I think like going back to if you were to move anywhere else, one of the first things you will talk about sometimes is sport, isn't it? And I think
It's the common denominator in most...
For a lot of men, obviously not all
Yeah.
men. It's not necessarily a manly thing to do, but no, there definitely is.
I think it
Definitely
just
is.
brings people together, and like you say, I think if I thought about moving to Newcastle for a bit, and I thought literally the first thing I'd do is find a football team, because then at least you've got a bunch of people who you've got something in common with. So
Yeah.
You can say a difference of opinion. Like, you can say, oh, you think Rashford's great. I can say, I think Rashford's terrible. And that doesn't
Doesn't
burn
validate
any bridges.
the other one, does
It's
it?
not like a political thing where, you know, you can
Yeah.
really sort of touchy subjects.
And I think now as well, even like
safe to talk about it.
biggest rivals aren't rivals like they would have been before. Like Millwall, West Ham,
No.
34
I
years
do
ago, it
miss
would have
that a
been.
little bit, in the sense
I
of
do and
like...
I don't, because I'm a fan of football as opposed to, like, I'm a Palace fan, but I'm a fan of football at the end of the day, and I'll be upset if Palace lose, but it doesn't ruin my week anymore,
Yeah.
because I'm happy just to watch the sport. Like, and play it. It doesn't matter for me so much now. The sort of the rivalry is, like, Brighton meant to be our rivals, but Brighton happens to be a really fantastic team.
I'm
They're good
of
to
the
watch,
opinion
so.
of if Chelsea do, although maybe less the last 18 months because we lose regularly, so the feeling's got a bit numb. But certainly when it started happening, I was a bit like, this is depressing. Like watching the TV week in because for me it is like a religion in the sense of the following, and I do miss a little bit of the sort of like the proper rivalries, I suppose. But the flip side of this is when you see England play, the players are a lot more cohesive and things, and I think we form better as a nation now than we did perhaps of the golden age of Lampard, Gerrard, Scholes sort of players and things. So,
But I think that sort of aggression that comes with football, that people like Lloyd would have said, would have thought about it, is a negative for the sport.
yeah, I agree.
And especially as like we played on Saturday, and there was some tasty challenges that went in. But maybe 10, 20 years ago, people would have got up, and even now, they grab them. And this is what Mike was saying, the ref of the game. He was saying people sometimes they retaliate. But what Sutton did really well, and what I think we did well in that game, was you just accept that bad challenges are bad challenges. You let the ref manage the game, and you get on with it. And at the end of the day, they're all nice guys.
Yeah.
No one's out there to
All
be
just
malicious.
people turn up on Saturday to play their football like we are.
Exactly. Yeah. So
Just because they wear a different kit doesn't mean they're a bad person.
Yeah, exactly.
Although we do hate Sutton. Just make it clear.
just because they've beaten us.
Just because they beat us 3 years in a row in
Yeah.
the same cup.
Yeah.
So we do hate you.
Yeah.
me and Stephen have a FIFA career mode
With Sutton.
with Sutton, and we may have to delete it now.
Yeah, we were going to go and watch a game, but I don't think we will anymore.
Oh yeah, you said you were going to watch games.
Yeah.
Oh him, yeah, he's good.
He's
He's going to be 85 rated in 3 years time. Yeah.
This is also hilarious because anyone watching the podcast thinks we're talking about Sutton United. And
Yeah.
let's just keep that going.
Yeah. we're not amateur level.
No.
I've been a closet football fan for years for that reason. I didn't want to say, yeah, I'm a football fan, because I thought it would paint me with this this brush of, I think football's got a long way to go in that. I was watching rugby the other day, Argentina and New Zealand, and there were New Zealand players taking pictures with Argentina fans and like signing things.
Yeah.
I think that's a very positive thing. You still don't get that.
There's a lot we can learn from rugby, especially when you can have a drink next to an opposition player and just enjoy the.
But-
there's no.
I
say
recently
that.
went to the Rugby World Cup, and it was just nice, just chilling with all of the different like
We do it in
nationality
cricket as well.
fans.
Cricket's the same thing.
Yeah,
Any
and
cricket,
like
you
at
can
the
have a
end
beer
of
and chat to them.
End of the game, we had the Chile fans walk round. We got a selfie with one of the Chile players. It weren't any like we weren't giving. I mean, we did win quite comfortably, but we weren't giving.
You say that
anyone shit
about
or anything like that.
not being able to have being able to have a drink with anyone, but I've been to many women's football matches, the FA Cup final, the Euro final. I've been for the last 2 years to the FA Cup final actually, and all the fans sit together. They have alcohol in the stadium. There's never any animosity. It's always a really good day. I was speaking to one of the police officers. The women's football match is much nicer than the men's. I think it's just male egos, and it could be linked towards like mental health of trying to like be the alpha or kind of thing, of that's their outlet. That's how they clear their heads, is going on a Saturday night and chanting away, being a bit vile really towards other human beings. Whereas You don't get that in any other sport, whether it be basketball, baseball, rugby, hockey,
Soggy biscuit.
soggy biscuit, anything
Well,
like
it
that.
might get a bit violent later on if I come last.
Until next time,
Yeah, the only thing I've got to say to you boys is, do you want to know what cheers is in Japanese?
Kampai.
Kanpai.
You've been sat there all afternoon.
Okay. Are we going to end on that?
Come pie.
Right.
Kanpai? Absolutely.
Kanpai.
We're going to have a kanpai. Should we,
I think
should we
we
kanpai
found
together?
the name of the podcast.
Should we kanpai all at the same time?
Alright.
Right,
3,
2, 1.
1.
Kanpai!
If you have been affected or have a worry regarding your own fertility, Exceed Health are able to help. Please visit the website exceedhealth.com or reach out via Instagram @ExceedHealth. If you're ready to take the test, use the code NotSoOldBoys for a 10% discount at checkout. Just remember, you aren't the only one.